Hello, my name is Shelby Jade Murdoch on behalf of the BMIC here at the University of Utah, and we are here today to discuss eConsent in REDCap. eConsent is an electronic format that can be used to supplement or replace paper-based informed consent forms to provide information to a potential research participant. It can also be used to obtain documentation of informed consent. It is important to note that the consent process and investigator responsibilities remain the same regardless of the format used to obtain consent. Electronic processes may also promote timely entry of any eConsent data into a study database and allows for timely collection of the subject's informed consent data from remote locations. We will discuss what an eConsent template is and why we use it, how the template works, how to configure the project with a template, and eConsent versioning. What is a REDCap template? To access the REDCap template library, you must do it from the New Project tab within REDCap. To use the template, you have to do so prior to creating a project. The template itself creates the project for you, and you will be able to edit the project to your project needs. We are going to click New Project, give your project a title, and don't forget to include your CTSI ID number. If you do not have a CTSI ID, please complete a Protrax application prior to going any further. Add the purpose, and then you will be able to select Use a Template for the creation option. From the list, we will select eConsent REDCap Template and Create Project. From here, you will await approval from the REDCap administrators to create your project, and you will receive an email once approved. In this video, the project will automatically be approved. There are two acceptable template configurations. One for in-person consenting, and this happens when the person obtaining consent and the person consenting are in the same physical room. And there's also remote contactless consent, when the person obtaining consent is not in the physical room with the person consenting, such as over the phone or sending the consent via email. For projects that need to comply with 21 CFR Part 11 for the FDA-funded studies, only the remote configuration will be available. FDA-funded studies can only use the one signature per consent process as outlined in the remote consenting template. In-person consenting has some specific guidelines to comply with in order for REDCap to capture consent correctly and store a PDF copy in the repository using the eConsent framework. First, the person obtaining consent has to be in the same room as the participant. Second, the consenting process needs to be completed in one single session. And third, the eConsent survey should be opened for the participant in REDCap to review the consent and sign, and then the person obtaining consent, along with any LAR, interpreter, or witness, will sign immediately after the participant. How to personalize the template in REDCap. From here, you can delete instruments if you do not need them. For instance, if you are only including the pediatric population in your project, delete the ICF instrument. If you are not using an LAR or interpreter, etc., delete these irrelevant instruments for your project. There are instructions dotted around the project to help you build your project to your study requirements. These instruments will help you understand where things need to go and what needs to be edited. How eConsent framework functions in REDCap. The eConsent framework is already set up for eConsent instruments. You can still go in here and add the versioning mechanism and name of consent for tracking purposes. This will allow you to see this information in the file repository. The eConsent framework creates a PDF copy of the signed consent document as a PDF in the file repository. This allows your team to download the PDF and send them to your participants, and also keep copies for auditing purposes. eConsent versioning in REDCap. When a new version of your consent is approved by the IRB, you can update a new version in REDCap by copying your original consent instrument and renaming it with the V2 and the IRB approval date to avoid any confusion. Adding the versioning in the eConsent framework settings allows you to track the versioning in the file repository so you can see which participants have completed which version of the consent document. It is important to ensure you not only rename the instrument, but also rename the survey title in the survey settings. Always remember to edit the eConsent fields to match the new fields in the new instrument. When you copy an instrument, it does not automatically change these designated fields for you. How to edit your REDCap project. You can add instruments like you would with any other REDCap project by either building them from scratch, importing them from the library, or uploading from a zip file. The project can be edited and used as you would any other project, turning on arms, events, repeating instruments, using ASIs, etc. If you have any further questions as you build your project, you can join our office hours every Friday from 8 a.m. till 9 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. They are first come first serve and run through Zoom. The Zoom link will always be located on the front page of the REDCap website.